If you've got a Shopify store, you'll know that without one key thing, it's very unlikely to be successful, and that's traffic. Now, there are lots of ways you can go about getting this, but many of them are expensive. Sure, you can pay for clicks using Google or social media ads, but you can burn through budgets doing this. And unless you're selling products with a high price tag, you may struggle to get a good profit margin using paid search. There's another way to get traffic though, and lots of it. That's by using SEO, search engine optimization. If you do SEO right, you can end up with a massive amount of free traffic from Google and a significantly greater chance of making sales on your store. So in this Shopify SEO guide, I'm going to spell out some key steps that you can take right now to improve the visibility of your store in search results. I'm going to do this in a jargon-free, easy-to-understand way. So don't worry if you're totally new to SEO. This video has you covered. If you enjoy it, please do give us a like and subscribe to the Style Factory channel for more SEO resources. Okay, let's start with something that's quick and easy to do, but also very important to do, and that's telling Google that your site exists. 1. Register your site with Google Search Console. Registering your Shopify store with Google Search Console is a key starting point for SEO. This is free to do and lets Google know where your site is located and what pages and products it contains. Registering your Shopify site on Search Console is pretty easy. You go to the Google Search Console website and follow the instructions provided to add your site. When you've done this, you'll then need to submit your store's sitemap to Google Search Console. Helpfully, Shopify generates a sitemap automatically for you. It's simply your domain name followed by /sitemap.xml. So if you had a site called bobbysgreatguitars.com, your sitemap would simply be bobbysgreatguitars.com/sitemap.xml. 2. Do your keyword research. To make sure that people can find your store's products, you need to make sure their titles and descriptions contain the phrases or keywords that people are actually searching for. To do this, you'll need to perform keyword research. Keyword research typically involves getting your hands on 3 key pieces of information: the phrases that people are entering into search engines when looking for products like yours, the volume of searches for each of those keywords, and a sense of how difficult it will be to rank for each keyword. When you have these 3 pieces of information, you can usually identify the keywords to optimize your content for, or the kind of content you'll need to create in the first place. To do keyword research, you'll need an SEO tool. These provide you with all the data I've just discussed. Now, there are many SEO tools available, but the one we use is called Semrush. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you how to use it for keyword research. But first, a quick note to say that if you want to use this tool too, you'll find a link to a special double-length free trial of this platform in the video description. Please note that this is an affiliate link. If you end up buying Semrush through it, we may get a commission. Okay, let's dig into the keyword research process. Let's say I've built a new online store that sells electric guitars. I need to find some words to use in my product names and descriptions that will help people find them. To do this, I go into Semrush and click SEO Keyword Overview. Next, I enter electric guitars into the box provided. I then get some good news and some bad news. The good news is that lots of people are searching for this phrase every month. The bad news is that it's going to be very difficult to rank for this phrase. It's got a KD, or keyword difficulty score, of 52%, meaning that it's going to be hard for my store to rank for this phrase, especially as it's a new website. So what I need is some alternative keyword suggestions, phrases that are much easier to attract traffic with. To get these, I need to click on Semrush's Keyword Magic tool. When I do that, Semrush shows me a large list of keyword suggestions related to my original phrase. To see which ones are easy to rank for, I can use the keyword difficulty filter to see ones that Semrush thinks are easy to rank for. This immediately shows me keywords that I have a realistic chance of ranking for. Looking down this list, I might consider seeing if I could use phrases like used electric guitars, Yamaha electric guitars, and electric guitars for beginners in my product titles and descriptions. Now, of course, this is just a very simple overview of the keyword research process, but hopefully it gives you an idea of the kind of information that you need to look at when building your store. If you check the video description, you'll find more detailed resources on how to perform keyword research, along with that exclusive extended trial of Semrush. Now that you've got your keywords, it's time to put them in the right places. 3. Get your page and product titles right. One of the most important elements of a web page is its title. Search engines treat it as a key piece of information when categorizing your content, and your title shows up as the largest component of a search result. You should ensure that your Shopify product, page, and blog post titles are never vague in nature and always start with your target keyword. To enter your homepage title in Shopify, click Online Store, Preferences in your store's dashboard. Then use the box provided to enter your homepage title. To edit other page titles, just navigate to your page, post, or product in your Shopify dashboard. Then scroll down to the bottom of its settings and click the Edit icon on the search engine listing preview. You'll then be able to edit your page title. 4. Ensure your product titles and descriptions are unique. A common way of speeding up the process of adding products to a Shopify store involves using its duplicate product option. While this gives you a quick way to add a new product to your store, if you're not careful with it, you can end up creating a lot of similar or even entirely duplicated product titles and descriptions. This is something that search engine algorithms don't like because it makes it harder for them to differentiate one piece of content from another and to point users in the direction of the best web page for their search. So always try to make your product titles and descriptions as unique as you can. 5. Use headings properly. Instead of using bold text to break up the text for your Shopify pages or products, always apply heading 1s, 2s, 3s, and so on to do so. This makes it much easier for search engines to understand what your content is about and to index it more accurately. It will also make your pages more accessible to any visually impaired visitors using screen readers. 6. Optimize your alt text and image names. Search engines don't just examine the words on your store when indexing it, they factor in its images too. A well-optimized image can help a product page rank higher in search, and sometimes Google will actually show clickable product images above regular search results. To understand images, search engines look at 2 bits of data associated with your pictures: alt text and file names. Alt text is a text description of your image. It's read aloud by screen readers to make your content more accessible to visually impaired people, but it helps search engines understand it better too. Both your alt text and file names should ideally contain keywords that accurately describe the images. To change the alt text and file names for product images, navigate to your product in your Shopify dashboard, then click on the relevant product image. Click the alt text option to the right of the image to edit your alt text, and use the name field to edit your file name. When doing this, make sure it includes the words that describe the image. These should be separated by hyphens. It's also a good idea to ensure that you're using optimized alt text and file names for the images on your Shopify pages and blog posts. To add alt text to these, navigate to your page or post, locate the relevant picture, and double-click on it. You'll then see a box appear containing an alt text field. Enter your alt text in here, making sure that it contains any necessary target keywords. As for editing image file names on pages and posts, this can't currently be done after you upload them to Shopify, so it's best to optimize these before you do so. If you do have to change an image file name after you've uploaded it to Shopify, you'll need to re-upload a version that contains your focus keywords in its file name. 7. Use a logical site structure. Clear, logical site structures make it easier for search engines to crawl and index pages and improve the chances of your store ranking higher in search results. Additionally, search engines tend to attach more importance to the pages that you include in your site navigation. To create an SEO-friendly site structure, think about what your most important product collections are, and make sure they're named in a way that makes it easy for search engines and users to understand. For example, for a clothing store, it would be better to label collections as men's clothes and women's clothes rather than simply men and women. It's also important to ensure that key collections are included in your navigation along with other important pages, about us, contact, etc. 8. Use engaging meta descriptions. Meta descriptions are the summaries of web pages that appear under page titles in search results. Although Google says that they aren't a ranking factor, a well-written meta description can encourage more click-throughs to your website. And because the click-through rate of a search result is considered a ranking factor, it's important to get meta descriptions right. Your meta description for your Shopify products and pages should be short. 150 to 158 characters in length is best. Be accurate and include your target keywords. To edit your homepage's meta description in Shopify, click Online Store, Preferences, and enter it into the homepage meta description box provided. To edit a meta description for other types of content, locate your page, post, or product in your Shopify dashboard, and then scroll down to the Search Engine Listing preview. Click the pencil icon, and you'll then get the option to edit your meta description. 9. Use SEO-friendly URLs. Using clean, SEO-friendly URLs is something that's encouraged by Google. These are short, simple, and easy to understand. For example, if you were selling a red Les Paul guitar on your Shopify store, it would be better to use a URL slug of red guitar for the relevant product page instead of something long and complicated. To edit a URL in Shopify, go to the page, product, or post you wish to edit, scroll down to the bottom of it, and then click the edit icon in the search engine description box. Then enter your URL into the URL handle box. If you're changing an existing URL, make sure that you tick the Create a URL Redirect option. This prevents users and Google encountering broken links and lets Google know that you've changed the URL. Now, changing the URLs of pages that aren't currently performing well in search results is usually fine. But if you're thinking about changing the URL of a page that is already getting a lot of traffic, it's often best to take an if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach. Changing the URL of a popular page can also affect its social proof, because it will reset the stats displayed on your social shares counter for that page to 0. 10. Use your Shopify blog to drive traffic. Sites that feature in-depth, informative blog posts on topics that people are interested in tend to perform much better in search results than those that don't. Shopify comes with a decent built-in blogging tool, and it's important to make the most of it. Regularly creating high-quality posts about key topics in your product niche can really boost traffic. As with product titles, you can use keyword tools like Semrush to find ideas for blog topics that are most likely to drive traffic. You can learn more about how to blog effectively in the Style Factory Guide to Increasing Blog Traffic. I've put a link to this in the video description, or click the card to the top right-hand corner of the screen now. 11. Build backlinks to your store. Backlinks are links from another site to yours, and they are a really important part of SEO. This is because search engines view backlinks as votes for the quality of a piece of content. Generally speaking, the more backlinks the products and pages on your Shopify store have, the better they'll rank in search results. To get backlinks, you usually have to reach out to other site owners in your niche and persuade them to link to your content. This can be hard, but it's easier to do if the content you've created on your store is really strong. If you're using Semrush, you can get suggestions for which site owners to contact using its link building tool. Add your Shopify store as a project and go to SEO Link Building Tool to start surfacing websites that might be worth approaching. If you've not signed up to Semrush yet, there's a link to a special double-length and fully functional free trial of the tool in the video description. One thing that you should generally avoid doing is buying links. Search engines are wise to this practice and can penalize your site in search results if they discover evidence of it. Overuse of link swap schemes can be risky too. 12. Ensure your Shopify store is loading quickly. Search engines give fast sites preference over slower ones. To ensure that your Shopify store loads as quickly as possible, remove any Shopify apps that you no longer need or that aren't completely essential. Avoid using a large number of web fonts on your site. Use image compression tools to reduce the size of your store's pictures before uploading them, and keep use of external scripts on your store to a minimum. You can get a sense of how quickly your site is loading using Google's Page Speed Insights tool. If you enter a URL from your store into this tool, you'll get a report on whether it is meeting Google's Core Web Vitals speed and stability targets, how quickly your content is loading, and some recommendations on how you can improve its performance. 13. Add rich snippets to your products and pages. Rich snippets are pieces of structured data that can be added to your content to help search engines and users understand what a page is about. Rich snippets provide additional information about the content of a product, page, or post. For example, star ratings, author, or prices. There are a couple of ways to add rich snippets to a Shopify store. The first is to manually add some data markup code to your Shopify templates. You'll find a link to a resource to help you with this in the video description. The second approach is to use a rich snippets app. There are lots of these available from the Shopify App Store. 14. Ensure your site is trustworthy. Google prioritizes sites that are trustworthy. It looks for EEAT signals on websites, with this acronym standing for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. You can add EEAT signals to your Shopify store by ensuring that it contains an about page, valid contact details, a privacy policy, a refund policy, website terms and conditions, a cookie consent banner, and author biographies. Getting links from high-quality sites to yours can also signal to Google that your site is trustworthy. And finally, a good design and user experience can help establish trust. Make sure that your store looks professional and is easy to use. 15. Make YouTube videos about your product range. As you probably know, Google owns YouTube, and more than ever before, it's including YouTube videos prominently in its search results. At Style Factory, we found that if we want to rank a piece of content quickly in Google, nothing beats publishing a YouTube video about it. By making YouTube videos about your products and accompanying them with links back to your Shopify store in the video description, you're giving yourself a great chance of getting a quick SEO win. You're also giving yourself a way to get visibility for your product range on YouTube itself, which, given that it's the web's second largest search engine, is a really good thing to do. 16. Audit your site regularly. Once you've implemented all the steps in this video, your Shopify store will have a much better chance of ranking higher in search engines. However, SEO is an ongoing process and you can't just stop there. It's important to conduct regular technical SEO audits of your website. These will help you spot any problems that develop and that you need to fix. These can include things like broken internal links, slow pages, and missing meta descriptions. As with keyword research, you'll need an SEO tool like Semrush to run site audits. To do this in Semrush, go to SEO, SEO Dashboard, then click Create SEO Project and enter your store details. You'll now be able to access an SEO audit for your site that highlights any issues you need to fix and gives you tips on how to do so. Click the link in the video description to get a double-length free trial of Semrush. And that's it. 16 key tips to help you improve your Shopify SEO. I hope you found all our Shopify SEO tips helpful. But if you're interested in learning even more about how to boost your rankings, check out the free Style Factory SEO Toolkit. This contains a host of useful resources, including downloadable cheat sheets and extended free trials of popular SEO apps, and you'll find a link to it in the video description. To get more SEO content from Style Factory in future, remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notifications bell. Finally, if you have any questions about Shopify SEO, just leave them in the comments. We read them all and will do our best to help.